Well, hi everyone. Welcome to the Buffett and Beyond Saturday Stock Market Recap, June 13th, 2026. And remember, folks, if you want to walk on a beach like this when the sun is rising, like Jimmy Buffett used to do, you've got to learn how to invest even better than Warren Buffett does now. And, well, this week the market, inflation inched up, but possible good news from the Middle East may have turned this market around, at least for a while. And we have a short-term buy signal. And when I say short-term, I do mean short-term, but we'll have to wait until next week to see if Thursday's great rally has legs. In our weekly stock analysis video, well, Oracle is in the news, and it was up over 300%, then fell, then rebounded, then fell. They have orders for their products, but the market doesn't like Oracle going into the debt market and issuing more shares, all to the tune of $40 billion. And Larry Ellison says Oracle will be in the center of the AI craze, but that $40 billion is half in debt and half in issuing new stock. And Oracle has a lot of debt right now, and if they issue new stock, the present shareholders will certainly have their shares diluted. So that's what sent Oracle down this last time. And our ETF video, well, our tech portfolio is up 36%, while our semiconductor portfolio is up 53%. And when I mean by portfolios, we take the best stocks using the clean surplus methodology from those semiconductor and tech ETFs, and those become our portfolios. And they're doing very, very nice this year. And here's Oracle, and this is what I'm talking about. This is only a one-year chart. If you watch the Oracle video, you will see the 5-year chart also, and you can see how this stock went up, then came crashing down, then went back up, and then just with this latest news about the debt offering and the offering of new shares of stock, this stock hit the skids again. Black line is the S&P 500. So yeah, this stock is having a tough time, but Larry Ellison, the head of Oracle, says they're going to be fine. They're going to be the best stock out there. And let us look at the S&P 500. You can see how this market, this was a short-term buy signal on the QQQs. In other words, this point right here was higher than this point on the QQQs, and that gave us a short-term buy signal on the QQQs. And here we've seen this pattern before, market going lower, and we want to see this going higher, but this in here is means of a short-term buy signal, which it was, and we have rallied now for a couple of days. But this 20-day moving average in here, yeah, we've got to get past that 20-day moving average. That's the line in the sand right now, attacking it from below. And as I'm recording this, all eyes are on the Middle East, and is there going to be something signed over the weekend? And so people are a little bit tentative. And this indicator down here still giving us a sell signal. So we have to be very, very careful in here. Short term, okay, but short term is only 1 to 3 days. So we want a little bit more than that, or this indicator down here has to turn up. And when we look at the volatility bands, but first we'll look at this signal up here. It has given us a buy signal, and I'm recording this before the market closes on Friday, and the market has yet to speak of whether it's going to close positive or negative, because it's been playing around. It's up nice, about 30, almost 30 points right now, and if you could hold that, this is a buy signal on this indicator anyway. And here's that 20-day moving average, and you can see how the market went up to the top of this band, came all the way down to the bottom, and one day did close below the bottom band right in here. It closed below that bottom band, but then the last 2 days it's back up within that band. So we are looking at this very, very closely. Of course, everybody in the market is. Can it break through this 20-day moving average? And again, as I mentioned, this indicator down here is just showing that, hey, we're still negative. You got to prove to us that this market can turn around, and we'll have to wait for next week to tell us. And portfolio protection, well, the SPY is actually down 4 points from last week, and we do have June, July, and August puts if you're hedging your portfolio. And this is the hedging where we feel that if the market goes down 12 to 15%, after that you're totally covered. And it depends how many puts you have. So this is for about a $200,000 portfolio, and you're protected against the index itself, not the individual stocks, but the individual stocks make up the index. So therefore, we could sleep at night if we have these puts in place. If not, because I know a lot of you don't use them, but here they are just in case you need them or you want to have a few of them in place. And the QQQs actually are up this week at 722 versus 716 last week. So that's where the money went. It went back into the tech stocks and the semiconductor stocks, with these showing the rise in the QQQs, where the S&P 500 is having a little bit of trouble there. And again, this is about a $200,000 portfolio, so we have these puts, and notice that they went up, and probably next week we'll be buying the September puts, and they will probably be a little bit higher, but we'll see. It all depends on what happens next week and what happens in the Middle East. And there's a big European meeting, which of course the United States is going to on Monday, and the Fed meets on Wednesday. So we have a full week coming up, and the market will be looking at every news flash that's out there to see whether it's going to go higher or going to go back down and test that bottom band. So folks, we had a very tumultuous week, but we had that beautiful rally on Thursday, which at least gave us hope for a while that maybe there's a bottom put in here, and the market is trying to hold that bottom, and we just have to wait and see what happens next week. So it's the weekend. Get out there, forget about the market, go walking on the beach, be with your loved ones. Most of all, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you back here in a couple of days.